My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of somebody that I used to know. And this is a movie I had no idea existed a month ago, but then I saw a preview for it, and what really caught my eye was the fact that we've got a movie with both Alison Brie and Danny Puddy. And as someone who loves Community, I had to watch this movie, and the end result is a decent enough, not nothing special, but not a waste of time movie. Like, I didn't love it. I'd probably never watch it again, but I didn't hate watching it. I thought it was fine enough. It's kind of a mix between Young Adult, the Charlize Theron movie, and Just Friends, because the plot is this woman goes back to her hometown and she runs into her ex-boyfriend from 10 years ago who's about to get married in just a few days, and she plans to sabotage their relationship. So with a premise like that, you really despise the main character, and it makes for a lot of uncomfortable and cringy moments. And that this movie definitely got that response for me. But it also manages to be enjoyable enough. I do think it has its charm, and it's mainly the cast that really elevates this movie. Like Alison Brie, I thought was really good for the most part. She stumbles a bit at the start, but she does find her footing. You've got Jay Ellis, who I guess was in Escape Room 2 and Top Gun Maverick, but this was the first time I really paid attention to him, and I was really impressed by him. He has this cool, calm personality, but you also see how he's struggling internally, and he brought that to life perfectly. You've got Kiersey Clemons, who has lots of personality and life. It was nice to see her in this movie, and she did impress me. You've got Haley Joel Osment, who was entertaining. You've got Olga Mercedes, who was good, but she kind of just disappears after a certain point. Julia Haggerty had nothing to do, but let's talk about my favorite performance of this movie. Danny Puddy is legitimately really great here. I love Community. Orbit is my favorite character on it, but there's still an aspect of Danny Puddy that I felt like I could only ever see Orbit when it comes to him. And I was already proven wrong with that because he was in that terrible show Mythic Crest, but he was easily the best part about it. And then I watched this movie and I was really impressed by him. He doesn't just feel like Orbit, he feels like a completely different character, and he pulled it off flawlessly. I thought he had lots of charm. He was easily the funniest character in the movie, and I loved how real he was, and really impressed by his work here. I would like to see him in a lot more movies, like definitely. But yeah. Then we get to the story, which I'm a bit mixed on because the first act of this movie, especially the first 10-15 minutes, are really bad. The last act is a bit of a mess. The second act, though, does work for me, and that's kind of what saves the movie. The characters do have a level of depth to them, but at the same time, I don't think they're as deep as the movie thinks they are, and it still just feels like characters we've seen in plenty of other movies. There's just not enough new things brought to them. And if you're going to deal with a familiar plot, there has to be some angle of greatness to it, and I feel like the movie was lacking in that. The um, movie also isn't really that funny. There's a few jokes early on, especially one scene with a cat on an airplane that I thought was embarrassing how bad it was. There was a one moment when Alison Brie gets to her mom's house and she walks in on her mom and a dude, and it's just like, she just stands there in the open doorway for like a minute, and it's just like, we act like a human being here. It was a very odd moment and just not funny at all. So I think the writing left plenty to be desired. I don't think it's anything new. I don't think it's as deep or thought provoking as it thinks it is, but it still has enough entertainment value to it. There is enough charm here, and the cast does elevate this movie, especially Danny Pudi, who was really impressive here. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Somebody That I Used to Know a 5.5 out of 10. But you didn't have to cut me off. Okay, I will say this. Whenever I hear Somebody That I Used to Know, I think of Walk Off the Earth, not Goche, but maybe that's just me. But did you watch Somebody That I Used to Know? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon. And Gavin